It's Championship Sunday, and we are in paradise. Today, the great hope of Great Britain, Tim Henman, brings his serve and volley game to the desert. He faces Leighton Hewitt, the underdog from down under, who is quickly gunning to be a front-runner. Henman is striving mightily to shake his image as the British bridesmaid, having come up empty-handed in his last 5 finals. Hewitt is quickly becoming the next great Aussie, embracing the tradition of tennis legends who have come from this proud island continent. Hewitt, Henman, finals next. Beautiful Sunday afternoon at the Fairmont Scottsdale Princess Resort. This is the South Pool, which will be packed, but it will be more crowded on center court. They are streaming in. A sellout crowd here today in Scottsdale. The young Australian Leighton Hewitt out of Adelaide, Australia, taking on the British sensation Tim Henman. Good afternoon, everybody. Barry McKay with you. A gorgeous day here in the desert, and what a run we have had over the past 4 weekends, starting way back in San Jose, California, where the big, tall scud from Australia, Mark Philippus, has had a wonderful win there to start the year off. He defended his title, and then we moved on to the Racket Club of Memphis, where Magnus Larsson, the big Swede, took on Byron Black, Larsson winning that one. And then on to the London Arena in London, where perhaps the biggest upset of all, Mark Rosset knocks off the Russian Yevgeny Kafelnikov. On to Delray Beach, Florida, Stefan Kubek, fantastic young Austrian, going against the qualifier, Alex Calatrava, and Kubek prevailed there. And today, another fantastic matchup, Tim Henman going against Leighton Hewitt. And what a match this should be, but certainly the strongest field of the 5 weeks right here in Scottsdale. Sampras was here, Agassi was here. Let's have a look now and see how the seeds did right here. Agassi knocked off by Francisco Clavet. Sampras with a win over Greg Rosetsky, and then he had to withdraw against Alex Correia. Rios gets to the quarterfinals, goes out with cramps to Leighton Hewitt. Henman knocks off Lepenti. There's our 2 finalists today. Albert Costa, very brilliant youngster from Spain. He went out to Henman. And Juan Carlos Ferrero, what a player he is. He knocked off Rafter to move ahead in the tournament. Well, we got a very interesting matchup today. Leighton Hewitt, certainly one of the very strong baseliners. He can hit passing shots from either side, but he's going against a guy who loves to come in and take approach shots and will serve and volley all day long. My colleague, Leif Shirus, caught up with Henman, and here's what he had to say just moments ago.
All right, Tim, well, you're looking like you're playing well this week. You struggled at the end of 99, but you're looking good again now. What did you do to get your form back?
It gave me a chance to sort of reevaluate things at the end of 99, and I needed to work harder off the court, get a little bit quicker, a little bit stronger, and that's what I did in November and December. Did a lot of fitness work, but it gave me a chance to actually work on my game because we don't get that chance so often. So yeah, I'm pleased with the way things are going.
Well, your game, you're probably one of the handful of serve and volleyers left on the tour. What's going through your mind when you're playing your best tennis? What are you doing well?
Yeah, I think I'm selective, but I'm aggressive. There's no point in just coming in on any sort of ball, because if you're coming in on junk, you're going to see it go past you. But yeah, I think I'm selective, but I maintain that aggressive nature. And as you say, there aren't too many serve and volleyers and chip and chargers around, so I have to keep the flag flying.
Well, you're going to have to fly the flag high today. Leighton Hewitt, a very quick, tough competitor. What makes him so tough?
Yeah, exactly that. He's, gives very few unforced errors. He's very, very quick around the court, and he's a great competitor. And his record this year speaks for itself. I think he's only lost once in the 4th round of the Australian Open. So hopefully I can get another win for me today.
Well, what are you going to have to do to beat him?
Yeah, I think I've got to stick to my game plan. I've got to keep being aggressive, and I think we know each other's games. We've never played before, but I think we know the way we're going to play. So as I played the whole tournament, I've got to keep moving forward, and if I serve well, then I think I've got a good chance.
All right, Tim, thanks.
Thanks, Leif.
Okay, Barry, back to you.
Our gracious host for the Franklin Templeton Tennis Classic, the spectacular Fairmont Scottsdale Princess, has once again warmly welcomed us to one of the most luxurious resorts in the world. This ultimate desert oasis, a 5-diamond resort, is indeed an elegant retreat, offering the amenities, world-class service, and warm hospitality that have made the Princess a legendary romantic destination. Treat Treat your family to a special relaxing time, or treat yourself to a myriad of sporting opportunities. From the state-of-the-art spa and fitness center, 3 swimming pools, 7 tennis courts, or the championship TPC Stadium course, home of the Phoenix Open. The newly expanded Appleton Tennis Classic Championship match, a packed house as Tim Henman holds up the balls. He is ready to go. This is best of 3. Leighton Hewitt ready to receive for the championship. First game, first set. Henman opens with a solid serve, 129 miles per hour lead. This hot day may really create some speed as we look at Norm Chris, the chair umpire, very experienced up there. Certainly the hottest day of the week, and I think it's going to help that ball fly through the air a bit faster. 15 love. No, forehand goes wide.
Tim Henman will need to serve well today. He's going to use all of his height. 25 years old, living in London, England. One of the few Europeans that is not in Monte Carlo. And a good record this year. He's really gotten it back together after a sluggish end to 99.
They list him at 6'1". I think he's taller than that, Leaf. I was down there when you were talking with him, and I'll tell you something. He looks about 6'2", 6'2 and a half.
There was a let on that first serve, I believe, so they'll tee that one up again.
15 all, first serve for Henman. Henman taking a lot of time here in this first game. He knows he's got to get that serve in deep against one of the best returners in the game, Leighton Hewitt.
Well, and he is well aware of that, as he said in the interview. He said, I need to serve well and gain every advantage he can. You can see how well he has played here this week, taking out Kubek, Byron Black, Nicholas Lepente, and Costa, the Spaniard. Very convincing fashion here in the desert.
Those are very solid wins in straight sets over some world-class players there. We saw Kubek in Delray Beach just last weekend play some awfully fine tennis to win the tournament. It's wide. Henman keeping that ball deep.
Well, Henman is really an all-court player. You know, I'd hate to classify him as only a serve and volley. He possesses one of the brilliant one-handed backhands in the game, and his forehand is solid.
Yeah.
Certainly that is the side that will break down, but I mean, this guy's got a great all-round game. He can play from anywhere on the court.
40-15, game point Henman. Just as he's about ready to serve, he backs off, look to his right. And so Henman holds in the first game of the match. Leighton Hewitt had some interesting things to say about his style of play.
I suppose I'm a bit of a hustler out on the court. You know, I just hustle a lot of balls down, make my opponent play a lot of shots. My movement's definitely one of my strengths out there, and mentally tough as well. But I'd like to call myself sort of an attacking baseliner.
That's an interesting comment, an attacking baseliner. I don't think I've ever heard that one before, Lee.
Well, I think he's comfortable going after the ball, you know, and really hitting the ball hard from the back, particularly when he's on the defensive. You can see people trying to get some protection from this sun because it is consistently hot here.
Well, they had such bad luck last weekend that Martina Hingis, Lindsay Davenport, women's final on this court, rained out 2 days in a row. Really bad luck for the organizers here. Both Peter Tatum and Jim Curley do such a fabulous job with this event, and now it's a 2-week festival over here. But the ladies had to head to Indian Wells without a decision. Ooh, a sitter backhand volley. Henman's not going to want to miss too many of those today, Lee.
Well, very interestingly enough, when Leighton Hewitt was practicing earlier, as we take a look at some of his info, he's not 6 feet tall, but he's got a pretty good first serve, only 19 years old. What a tremendous record. Only one loss to Magnus Norman back at the Australian. And that is a tremendous winning percentage.
It really is.
I mean, he's racking up some wins here early in the year.
No. Goes for a big second serve.
And he's had a tougher road here. He has struggled a bit early. taking on Daniel Wacek, the American Chris Woodruff. The big win against Rios, who he was handling before Rios finally retired, and the Spaniard Juan Carlos Ferrero convincingly in the semi.
No, the two-hander catches the net. 15-30. Well, as you mentioned, Marcelo Rios having to withdraw. For all the Rios fans out there, I saw him out practicing early this morning, Lee. Very impressive. So he's obviously feeling better and working on his return to serve.
Well, a nice chance now early for Henman. And again, some good, consistent play. And one thing he's done throughout all the matches here this week is get off to a good start. He's broken serve early when he's needed to and really established his game and his confidence. And this would just be a real turning point here if he could get out to a good start.
No call. Good serve out wide. And that is exactly what Leighton Hewitt was talking about, Lee. An attacking baseliner. A good example right there.
Well, when he gets a guy out of position, he's going to tee off on the groundies, that's for sure. I mean, he's capable of flattening him out a little bit more than he was last year. Remember, he was a finalist here last year and lost to Jan Michael Gamble. Gamble, of course, loves to flatten out the ground stroke, so I think Hewitt is always learning about the game.
There's a big point early in this match right here, and Hewitt does it. Catches Henman moving the wrong direction.
Well, Barry, one of the things we saw earlier today was Darren Cahill, Leighton Hewitt's coach, working with him, and Darren was playing a lot of underspin backhand approach shots.
Well, he'd know how to do that because that guy really came in behind those kind of shots.
He was a great serve and volleyer himself, so Hewitt is comfortable when he's put on the defensive like that.
Oh, Henman trying to keep that ball deep, over hits. And so from 15-40 down, Hewitt fights back. He's at game point. And there it is. Leighton Hewitt gets out of trouble early. One game all.
Well, these guys have both won 4 tournament titles, but Henman has played a lot more tennis. You can see, look at how many matches he's played. But again, not a great record in finals for Henman. And of course, Hewitt, still a teenager, already 4 titles. So an impressive run from both guys, certainly 2 of the best guys out here on the tour.
Sellout crowd here on this center court here at the Fairmont Scottsdale Princess Resort. Perfect conditions. Well, the amazing record to me is that 63 wins, 19 losses since January of 1999 for Hewitt. Boy, that's impressive. There's some very big names have won titles before they reached their 20th birthday, and Hewitt's in that group.
That's right, 4 titles, looking for number 5. Of course, Bjorn Borg, 16, Becker, 12. Of course, Becker won his first Wimbledon when he was 15. Bjorn Borg won his first of 6 French Open titles when he was 18. So those guys were cracking the door of the Grand Slams. Both these players have yet to do that.
There were some great Australians at a very young age. Ken Rosewall winning the French championships at age 17. This kid, Hewitt, reminds me a bit of Rosewall's style. Why? You know what I love about Henman's game? He's very comfortable in that backcourt. He doesn't mind staying back.
Well, he's also a good mover around the court. He doesn't have that explosive quickness of Hewitt, but he covers everything, and this is some good forehand drives from Henman. Of course, Hewitt finally missing that one down the line.
I'm a bit like Sampras in that situation. Pete's very patient. He likes to stay in the backcourt.
Yeah, I mean, I see Stefan Edberg a lot in Tim Henman's game. From the one-handed backhand to that nice serve volley motion.
Like guess is he's practiced a bit with Edberg over in London.
No, they do practice a bit, and he says to me, Edberg gets me most of the time. So, I mean, Edberg is truly one of the more talented serving volleyers. He's sitting on the bench.
Just wide. Henman going for a very deep forehand approach. Over hits it. 15-30 now. Hewitt. A little opening here. Leighton Hewitt, who wore all black yesterday, playing it smart today in his heat. He's got a white shirt on. Oh, a wide open court. Henman going for it again. Catches the date. So now double break point for the Australian.
And again, Hewitt just puts a little extra pressure on you. You feel like you have to do just a little bit more. And you haven't seen Henman struggle on his serve much here this week.
That is impressive, but right here, it could end. And it does. And Leighton Hewitt drills the two-hander into the open court. Hewitt with the break, 2-1. Franklin Templeton Tennis Classic Championship match. A packed house here at the Fairmont Scottsdale Princess Resort as youngster from Australia with the break. There is John Williams, the senior vice president, general manager of this fantastic resort. We certainly want to thank him for all the hospitality. This is a great place to end up after 5 weekends on the road, isn't it, Lee?
Now, this is paradise. But what a turnaround. I mean, Hewitt was down 15-40 on his serve in the second game, comes back and wins this game, and then breaks, and now he's in the driver's seat. Certainly he's thinking, I've got to get first serves in here, build on the break I have, and get out to a 3-1 lead. So this is a big game for him now.
Down, love 15. I think you're going to see Henman pressing. He loves to come in behind that second serve, a la Patrick Rafter. Will go long.
And you can see the beautiful one-handed backhand that Henman can produce. I mean, he can roll that cross court and in the same preparation drive it flat down the line. It's a beautiful one-handed stroke. Take a look at it again. Watch how he gets the racket back. That shoulder is nice and turned. He tries to get his weight forward. Even though he's up in the air, his weight is in on the ball.
Nice balance.
Beautifully hit.
Big chance here for Henman to get right back in this set. He's down a break, but up love 30 here. Second serve. Look at the concentration. Oh, Hewitt saw him coming in. Tries a big second serve. It does not work, and so triple break point for Tim Henman. Shot. Henman just too solid. Oh, great point, and Henman breaks it love. And comes right back with it. 2 games all. Second set. Let's have a look now at both of these guys' service actions, Lee.
Leighton Hewitt on the right, and again, watch when he gets his serve up. He's got a pretty good setup here, but I think his weight is going a little bit too much forward. I think he needs more explosion up at the ball. You can see he's falling a little bit into the court. Watch how Henman instead gets his knees down again. Look at the stress here, and watch him explode up and forward at the ball. I think he's got a better weight transfer up into the hit. I think that's one reason why Henman has a little bit better serve.
He's just about perfect on that motion. He gets that ball way out in front. Ball sticks in the net. 2 games all. And goes over the baseline, love 15. These guys are both having trouble winning that first point on serve.
You know, that error there is a little bit of that altitude, that thin air. You know, you stroke that ball like you would on any other tennis court in the world, but with that altitude, it carries just a little bit more over the baseline. I was talking about how this thin air, the altitude, the guys have addressed it. Henman has tried to string his rackets a couple pounds tighter. He normally strings around 68, 69. Here in the desert, he's gone up to 71 pounds. And of course, Hewitt, because he's a baseliner, a little more of a counter puncher, he strings a little more loosely, but he's up a couple pounds as well at 59 pounds.
Well, you're seeing a couple guys back there that have had a very busy week in that player lounge. They've been stringing rackets.
Those rackets were being strung this morning. Again, they like to have that freshly strung racket, particularly Henman, who was feeling like, I'm losing tension out here. I want it as tight as I can get it.
Well, I'll tell you what, you could have a saboteur in there and he sneaks over and says, move that tension up about a couple pounds. That would really be a disaster.
Or down. I tell you, if you put the tension down, that would be a real disaster.
Those were the two rackets that the players are using out here today, being strung earlier today. 15:30 now, fifth game, first set. A sensational second serve from Tim Henman.
There's David Felgate, Tim Henman's coach and close friend and confidant. He's really been the pillar of support behind Henman's great play over the last few years. And he's had some interesting things to say about his young charge, and certainly feels that he has the potential to go all the way to be #1.
Wide center service. Finds person there, getting out of the way. Some quick reflexes. That's a dangerous spot to be. Yes, Henman knocks off the backhand volley. A lot of strength in that high shot leap. That was not an easy put away.
Well, if you love tennis at all, you can't help but appreciate this matchup of attacking player and a great defender. Henman moving forward, again, knees slightly bent, great reaction up. And again, reacting to that, again, good response. You know, once you hit that volley, you have to recover to play the next ball.
You know, and a lot of players would have retreated after that lob. He was at midcourt. He could have gone back to the baseline, but elected to hang in. That's his style. And another big one down the center, 111 miles per hour. Henman, 3-2. We're at the Fairmont Scottsdale Princess Resort, bringing you action on Fox Sports Net. On the left, Tim Henman from Great Britain taking on Leighton Hewitt, the Australian, on the right. 3-2. Henman leading first set. Well, we mentioned it a couple times, Leaf, but when he says he's an attacking baseliner, I like to think that any ball that falls below, let's say, the service line, a short ball, he's going to attack that ball with his great ground strokes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's not afraid to take some of that topspin off and hit the ball through the court. Something he's doing better and better.
Oh, didn't miss by much. That is one of Henman's favorite plays on the second serve.
Well, he did that on match point against Costa, and it was just beautiful the way he played that chip down the line.
When you think about it, Leaf, there's only 3 or 4 top players in the game that do that today. Patrick Rafter, of course, Tim Henman, Yevgeny Kafelnikov occasionally, not too much. Pete Sampras can do it very well. Andre will do it occasionally.
You know, guys like Richard Krychek and Greg Rosetsky will do it because that is their forte, moving forward and using their size to get to the net. Henman a little more versatile than those guys, a little more agile in moving around the court.
Henman working hard now from that far side. And Leighton Hewitt holds. 3 games all per set.
And we talked about how Felgate thought that Tim Henman has the opportunity to be one of the great players. I still don't think he's maximized what he's got. Rotterdam was as good of tennis as he's played. He is serving well, but he could be more consistent. It's just about that extra desire. And David Felgate, I think, knows that. Tim Henman, of course, known as one of the nice guys on the tour. And I think Felgate is challenging him to say, hey, you know, you've got to win some of these finals. Tough amount. Of course, Rotterdam, he was a finalist there, played beautifully, beat Kafelnikov in the semifinals, but lost to Pialin in the finals.
No, well, I'll tell you one thing. He's going to spend some time with the 2 Lloyd brothers, who are the coach and captain. John being the coach, his brother David being the captain. I'm not just sure how well Felgate, the coach, gets along with the Lloyd brothers, but I think Henman can learn something from all those guys.
From what I understand, I don't know if David is the captain any longer. I think he may have lost his position.
Really?
Yeah, so...
You got a scoop.
Now, whether John is still involved with the team, I don't know, but I know David Lloyd is...
Well, the Brits got upset. First round. 15 love.
Had the British won, they would have played the U.S. side.
Oh, yes. Leighton Hewitt rolls that forehand up the line.
Well, this is a good approach. And some good stuff on the run from Hewitt. Watch how he gets the racket head under the ball and finishes up very quickly. Just snaps it. And Henman doesn't mind getting past occasionally.
Leighton Hewitt, a big fan of Rocky films. Yesterday you heard him cry out after he hit a great shot. Come on, Rocky. We'll see if he does it today. Too good. And I'll tell you, Henman's putting on some miles on that baseline.
Now, when they get in the baseline exchanges, it really looks like Hewitt gets the advantage, and all of a sudden Henman is just running.
15-30, 7th game, first set, 2 breaks so far.
And I know Henman is thinking, geez, I could use a first serve here. Maybe back it up with a nice volley. Try and get out of that rhythm of having to play from the back.
And then serving into the sun from that far side now. He checked the sun pretty carefully. Now a double fault. Very costly double fault. Leighton Hewitt very, very low on the return of serve. Watch how he does this now. Look how far over he is on the return of serve. He's about a foot, that racket is, off the surface. That's one of the reasons he's able to change directions, get into a good receiving position. Crouched way over. No.
Well, you can see how a first serve is going to help Tim Henman. When he gets that first serve in, it starts a chain of events, which includes that first volley. See the split step.
Reflex. I'll tell you who had one of the most imposing return of serve stances was the great Jack Kramer. Boy, he was very impressive. And here's another one right here. And the break of serve from Leighton Hewitt. Hewitt leading 4-3. Stay with us. We're at the Franklin Temple Tennis Classic.
Every Friday on Fox Sports, Soccer Scene with Andy Pascalides.
Sonoran Desert, the Fairmont Scottsdale Princess, a few umbrellas out to shade from the sun. as Leighton Hewitt serves with new tennis balls, changing at 7 and 9. Figuring the warm-up takes a couple of games off the balls. Second serve.
Well, and he really came down on that serve.
Double fault number 3. Short approach, put him in trouble immediately.
30-15.
Well, you got to come in on something good. This one's a little short. And good preparation. Look at how far inside the court he is. You want that approach shot to push him outside that baseline.
Wow, a miss hit from the forehand, and now Leighton Hewitt at 40-15.
Well, Henman with a bad stretch here. Just not executing as he really wants to. See the unforced really piling up from Henman.
No, a few miss hits off that forehand from Hewitt goes way over the baseline.
This is a good position for him. And a little mistiming on the forehand. He's got a big windup on that forehand, Barry.
Ooh, called wide. Very close on that sideline. 5-3 Hewitt, first set. Doing too well on first serves the entire week here.
Yeah, he's going to have to serve better against Hewitt.
Comes in behind a second, gets past.
And you really have to look back at that second game. You know, Henman had held his serve. He had Hewitt 15-40. He just couldn't capitalize. And then since then, Hewitt has really had the edge.
Down the middle, but a brilliant return of serve off of one of Henman's biggest serves, 125 miles per hour, and Hewitt knocks it back.
Well, you can see Tim Henman talking to himself, and I'm sure he's saying, you know, you've got to do more with the volley. He's got a high backhand volley, and he volleys right back to Hewitt, who finds the opening cross court.
Trouble now for Henman. Love 30, down 3-5. Henman really opening up, 133 miles per hour. It's about as flat as he can hit that serve. Oh, and he gets caught. Changes his mind, Leaf.
Yeah, that was a bad error. One of those miss hits that throws your timing off, your rhythm off.
Now triple set point for Leighton Hewitt. Love 40. Saves one. Number 3, so He saves 2. Let's see if he can do it one more time. Goes for it. And he does. And so from love 40 down, Henman right back in it at deuce. So Tim Henman with 4 straight points has a chance to hold and stay in this first set. Down the center, 128. A brilliant service game from the Brit. He's alive. 5 games to 4. Leighton Hewitt now trying to serve out this first set. You got to wonder what's going through his mind, Liam, after losing 5 points in a row there against a tremendous game by Henman.
Yeah, 3 set points.
Oh.
Now he's got to do it on his own serve here. See how he handles the pressure.
Slice forehand, cup forehand, just over the baseline. 15 love. This guy is very composed for a 19-year-old, Leighton Hewitt. Good competitor. That's a fine lob from Tim Henman. Catches Hewitt moving forward.
Again, a good service return here. Really forces Hewitt forward. Again, a good first volley, but this lob is just too deep. Can't get back comfortably on it.
Hewitt about a foot away from that net after that volley. 15 all. Big points now. First set. Hewitt trying to close it out. Ooh, a short ball. Henman loves those kind, especially off the backhand. Just caught the tape. Sensational approach, Lee. But I thought he might have gotten caught.
Now, this is a brilliant volley. Again, watch the approach. Nice and deep. Pretty good pass. Watch the stretch.
Oh.
Just stabs it into the open court.
It's a classic serve and volleyer. Brilliant approach shot. There's a guy who is very comfortable up at net. 30 all. Tries to roll that forehand up the line, didn't nail it real solidly. So now set point for Leighton Hewitt. And there it is. Game and first set to the Australian. 6 games to 4. Stay with us. We're at the Franklin Templeton Tennis Classic from the Fairmont Scottsdale Princes. Hewitt with the first set, 6-4. And each week on Fox Sports Net, we name a sportsman or sports people, I should say, of the week. This week, it's the great doubles team of Ellis Ferreira and Ricky Leach, the current Australian Open champions. They were on hand for Kids Day, and a donation of $5,000 will be given to the NJTL, the National Junior Tennis League, founded by Arthur Ashe. And so thanks to a great doubles team.
And they certainly are the best team right now, certainly on the results from this year. They lost in the semifinals here to Jared Palmer and Richie Renenberg. Of course, Palmer and Renenberg will take on Pat Galbraith and David McPherson in the doubles final. You know, we've got a lot of great Americans doing well in doubles, but our Davis Cup doubles has not been as sparkling as I'm sure John McEnroe would like it to be.
Tough match. They lost down in Zimbabwe.
Rick Leach, a part of that team.
Spin lob. It's good. Oh, great shot by Henman. Unbelievable get by Tim Henman. That ball had a lot of topspin on it, Lee, and almost got away from him.
It was an amazing get. I mean, just to get it is one thing, but again, watch how he does something with it. Watch him fire this back. Again, this volley sits up. Finishes it off beautifully with the backhand, but what a track down by Henman there on the lob.
Tremendous get.
Jimmy Connors, the old Belleville backfire.
Almost as good as the Andre Saw between the legs shot in Memphis. That was a classic.
An outright winner past Byron Black, I believe it was. It was fabulous stuff.
You may remember that point. First point of the second set, and Henman gets out of big trouble. 15 love. And now 30 love.
You know, that's the kind of point that Henman can build on. I'm sure he's thinking, like, you know, I should be winning here. I had that first set early. Just could not capitalize.
Tim Henman with ace number 5.
Beautiful ace. I mean, he hits this one hard. And he gets out quickly. Well, that return down the line was just too good. Even an experienced serve and volleyer like Henman could not track that one down.
40-15. First game, second set. Leighton Hewitt with the first, 6-4. Christ in the chair will not be overruling. Oh, he gets caught. Gets jammed by a very solid low ball from Leighton Hewitt.
That was just a great counter by Hewitt. Henman put some good pressure on it. Hewitt just stayed down on this shot. Again, right here, this is a pretty good ball from Henman deep. Again, he just plays a half volley and right at Henman's toes.
That was not a bad approach shot, Lee. I'll tell you, Hewitt is keeping that ball so low. Game point, Henman. Go long. 1-love Henman, second set. Well, Tim Henman has had some real bad luck, a little frustration when he reaches final round matches.
In my last 3 finals, I lost in the final of Queens to Sampras, 7-6 in the third. I lost in the final of Basel, 7-6 in the fifth, and I lost 2-3 weeks ago in Rotterdam, 7-6 in the third. So to lose your last 3 finals in 3 final set tie breaks is difficult. But if I keep putting myself in that situation, I've got no doubts that I'll win many more titles.
You can almost see a gleam in his eye, Leaf, as though that's not going to happen anymore. But he's got his hands full out here today. Down a set, hold serve in the first game. This is really a fine matchup between 2 extremely talented players.
And here are his last 5 ATP Tour finals. Pia Lien, the most recent one, 7-6. Carol Kuchera, Pete Sampras, and of course also losing to Kafelnikov and Schuttler. So some tough roads for Tim Henman in Tour finals last year, and of course Rotterdam this year.
That's just too good. Henman out hitting Hewitt from the baseline.
And that's where Hewitt has to be careful. If Henman anticipates the cross court and Hewitt doesn't do enough with it, again, this ball sort of sits up. Henman has time to lean on it and get in decisively. You got to keep Henman off balance. Don't allow him to dictate play like that, which Hewitt has done well in the first set.
Sees his opportunity. That's what Henman does so well, Lee. He hit the return and just hesitated for a split second and then moved up.
Well, again, I think he saw that the return was good enough. It was just short and low enough. And there are two ways to hit the approach, either deep and low
or that
or
ball.
short and low. And
that can work sometimes.
Absolutely. Paul Annacone made a living doing that.
Yeah, but he brought the baseline in with him. Boy, what a net charger he was. Paul Annacone. And some great Wimbledons over there on that grass.
Pete Sampras is current coach.
Yep. Yes, Henman again slicing up the line, and so now Tim Henman with an early opportunity here in the second game.
Well, when Hewitt relaxes on his serve and doesn't get enough first serves in, this is when Henman's going to get on him. And that was a classic chip. Again, look at the preparation. The racket face is open. The face comes through the ball decisively, and he moves in behind it. I mean, he carves that backhand beautifully.
Wow, a big second serve, 117 miles per hour. Leighton Hewitt knows he's in trouble, comes up with a brilliant second serve. That was a risky shot, Leaf, when you think about it. 15-40 second serve, and he goes for it. No. Once again, Henman with an opportunity. We'll see if he comes in behind this second serve. Look at him move around. And it doesn't make it. And so Tim Henman breaks. He now leads 2-love second set. Let's have a look now at our first set statistics.
Well, Henman had some chances in that set, but you can see really the keys for him are unforced errors and first serve percentage. And when those things improve, he's going to have a better percentage of winning points at the net. Hewitt played a good, solid set. He's got enough first serves in to keep Henman off the net. But you can see in his opening service game here, when he doesn't get that first serve in, Henman's going to be on him. There, he worked hard, kept the ball deep. Here's Darren Cahill.
Barry McKee along with Lee Shiras bringing you championship action from the Fairmont Scottsdale Princess in Scottsdale, Arizona, the Franklin Templeton Tennis Classic. Tim Henman going against Leighton Hewitt. Here is Henman. Hewitt with the first set, 6-4. Henman now leading 2-love with a break in the second set. Down love 15, third game. That's a beautiful inside out forehand.
This is a nice forehand from Henman. He can play all the shots. It's just a matter of him putting them all together consistently. Again, he backs off the backhand. Good preparation.
15 all. Big game here for Henman to try and get up 3-love. And another big serve by Henman, ace number 6. I think, Lee, from that game when he served out of trouble from love 40 down, he realizes that he can maybe hit a few more big flat serves.
Well, he's starting to get him in the box, which, Henman has to do that. Again, the best server in terms of aces this week.
Another big serve deep, 122 miles per hour.
This is what Henman can do when he is serving well. You know, he can build on a lead like this and really put enormous pressure on you.
That's deep. Going to go wide, so Henman holds. He leads 3-love. Second set. 3 games to love. Tim Henman right here. British sensation, putting on quite a show in this second set, and I think he has realized, Leaf, that he can really serve much bigger than he did in the first set.
Well, certainly if he's putting him in the box, it's going to pay off for him.
Leighton Hewitt thought he had the ace out wide. No call. Second serve. That's too good. Right inside the baseline. Hewitt, great deception.
Yeah, Henman's saying, you know, okay, I'll give you that one. I know you have that one. I know I have to do a little bit more with my volley.
Well, he's got the break. He takes the chance on the first point. I think that's a good play. 15-love. First time these two have met, and yet Henman said before the match that they know each other's game very well.
See, that's a good approach shot there. He had some open court and he drove the ball through the court. Again, great preparation. See how his feet are moving and ready. That's perfect preparation. His left arm is around and then uncoils on the ball. And that has become a weapon. You know, and people always say, well, Henman's forehand is a little bit weak. Yeah, but he can also hurt you with it, particularly if he has time. All the great players can hurt you off both wings.
It's wide.
Of course, Henman playing Davis Cup for Great Britain this year. Greg Rosetsky did not play in the opening match. Great Britain losing to the Czech Republic, and of course the U.S. will play the Czech Republic now. Henman beat Slava Dozadel in the opening match, but Great Britain ended up losing 4-1.
Go wide, so Leighton Hewitt now quickly to 40-15 here, trying to get on the board in the second set. Race, Leaf, and boy, it's getting very interesting.
Well, very interesting, of course. Agassi passing Kafelnikov this week with 1 round win. He'll move up to the top spot. And of course, Leighton Hewitt now, you can see him at number 6. Should he win here, he would move up into the tie for 4th spot with Nicholas Kiefer. So certainly some important points at stake for Leighton Hewitt.
Leighton Hewitt was number 1 after 2 weeks, winning in both Sydney and Adelaide down in Australia. He was the number 1 person on that champions race. He'll be back. It's long. A late call, and Henman didn't like it. Very close call. Norm Christ in the chair will not be overruling that ball. Love 15.
It didn't miss by much. You don't see Henman glance at an umpire even. I mean, this guy's
Gentleman
great
Tim.
sportsman. Yeah.
They call him Timbledon over in England. It's a pretty good name.
I wouldn't want to be known as Timbledon.
Those Brits, those tabloids in London have a ball. Lob will go long.
And here's a look at the guys who have been on top in the Champions Race 2000. Santoro won the opening event of the year, so he was on top, and then Hewitt earned some weeks. And of course, Andre Agassi has been solid in with 4 weeks. Yevgeny Kafelnikov, Agassi reclaiming that #1 spot after first round win here.
Agassi will be playing in Atlanta. We'll be down there in a few weeks' time. Our next port of call. Nice volley. There is a superb volley from Tim Henman.
30-50.
Now this is Tim Henman at his best. Look at that beautiful volley. Again, cuts off that line.
(30-15). Henman up 3-1. But he used a break on that net cord there. Drops back on his side. Second serve. No, the forehand goes long, and so Tim Henman now at 40-15, trying to get to 4-1.
And that's the kind of pressure Henman puts on you. I think Hewitt felt like, you know, I've got to keep the ball deep. I've got to do a little something more than just roll it in the middle of the court, because Henman's going to put that pressure on you and come in on that short one.
Henman backs off. (130 miles per hour), but it was a fault. Out wide, second serve ace, #7. Henman up 4-1, second set. Four games to 1. Tim Henman leading now in the second set as Leighton Hewitt prepares to serve. Only one service break. That score a little bit deceptive at 4-1. Some errors creeping into the Hewitt ground strokes.
Well, the game has shifted now. Henman is the one who's playing consistent ball. Hewitt is the one making some errors. And this was not the rhythm in the first set.
It's on.
There's Darren Cahill, Leighton Hewitt's coach.
Oh, and a double fault. His fourth for Leighton Hewitt. Puts him down love 30.
And a little bit of a mental lapse here. Hewitt is normally tenaciously competitive. He doesn't let up at all.
And he does play every point like match point.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a lapse now from him. He needs to get it together.
Henman goes for the love 30 point. Gets past, but still a good play.
Now, Henman is willing to lose a couple points. But again, the message is clear. You know, you miss your first serve, I'm going to put something, you know, get in behind it.
Good. And a better passing shot. Henman rolls over that backhand.
50-40.
Now, that backhand looked like Stefan Edberg. Watch the preparation. Now he just slings it across court beautifully.
Break point, 15-40. Easy put away for Hewitt.
30-40.
You know, Hewitt's pretty comfortable coming into the net. I mean, this guy plays pretty well on grass. He's not afraid to capitalize on that short one.
Won 6 out of 8 points in the first set coming in. It's a pretty good percentage. No. Hewitt saves a couple of break points. 15-40 down, it's deuce. Service ace down the center, 111 miles per hour. His first of the match, 4-2. Henman, second set. Henman may be thinking a little bit about those points, Leap, because I wouldn't mind having 2 breaks against a guy like Leighton Hewitt. He is so dangerous. And now 4-2. Second serve.
When he saw the backhand open up the court, and he knew that Hewitt was going to have to play a one-handed backhand. Watch this. He says, you know, I'm getting in here because this ball is not going to come hard. I can cut it off and play it to the open court again. This is a tough volley to play on the run.
Behind the service line, that is just instinct from Henman. Saw his opportunity. 15 love. Another big serve. His 8th ace. 30 love. Number 9, 40.
Barry, you said Gentleman Tim, and I always thought Gentleman Tim was Tim Mayotte. I remember Mayotte always had a great record.
It was for a couple of years over there. Mayotte kept getting to the semifinals.
So I guess Tim has taken that moniker now.
Indeed.
The next Tim.
Big serve out wide, and Tim Henman holds. 5 games to 2. Henman, second set. Look now at the power of Tim Henman's serve. Boom, ace out wide. Boom, ace out to the backhand side. And another, take that. Tim Henman serving extremely well. Goes wide, Henman forcing everything now.
See, that's a nasty approach. I mean, that ball has a lot of underspin. It stays very low, and when you hit it, you can feel it on your strings. That ball's got some spin on it, and it's tough to change directions when the ball's that heavy.
Exactly. What are you going to do if you're on the baseline on a shot like that? Very tough to win the point. Great Bill Tilden said, come in 10 times, and you're going to win 7 out of 10 points. I think that's what he said a few years ago. I wasn't even alive yet.
Nice network here from Hewitt. And there's the nice angle that won it for him. It's
amazing how much Hewitt reminds me of Ken Rosewall, who was a great volleyer later in his career. I think this kid could do the same thing. He's got a natural volley.
Again, that chip down the line. He gets Hewitt off balance.
30 all.
Chances now for Henman to try and close out this second set and even this match at a set apiece.
Boy, and what a game this would be to get. You start out serving in the third set when he's really picked up his serve.
No.
40, 30.
Oh, that's going to go wide. And so Leighton Hewitt holds 5 games to 3. Henman, well, lots of tennis around the world today, Lee. Some results coming into our booth up here.
Well, the big win for the Argentine, Mariana Puerta. 6-4, 7-6 over Eunice Elanui, the number 2 seed there in the Colombian Open.
Elanui was in that top 10 in the champions race. We kept seeing him over the last several weeks. Tim Henman now serving for the second set. This is best of 3 for the championship. Henman trying to even things right here. David Felger, the Henman coach. No.
Well, that time Hewitt stepped up to that approach. A good hard low approach. I mean, it's almost better to step into it. See how he moves forward into the ball. He goes to it and meets it and really gets into the shot. He hadn't been able to do that on the last couple, but that time he made a decisive stroke.
Drop shot way too high. Easy put away.
When you have a moment to make a decision about which shot you're going to select, and Henman makes the wrong selection here.
He used to say, send me a telegram with a shot. He sure did on that one. Really high on that drop shot. Love 30 now. A chance for Hewitt to break back here. Very solid shot from Henman.
50-30.
Well, the serve did the damage. Set up that nice backhand. And I'm sure he's thinking, okay, let's get it together here. Get a good toss. Get a first serve. Let's get back to 30 all.
Here is a big point for both players right here. 15-30. It's good. Yes. I'm not sure Henman liked his first volley that much.
30.
Well, anything high, Henman is so good on. I mean, this is a good deep volley.
So from Love 30 down now, Henman 2 points away. Henman taking a little extra time on these big points.
Well, in Australia, they call him the Dominator from down under. And he just dominates that return. He loves the big moments, this kid.
Here's the biggest moment of this match right here. Hewitt with a chance to break back, get back in this second set. Oh. No, it goes wide. And Leighton Hewitt gets a break. When we return, Hewitt serves to even things up. We're back, and let's look at that last point as Tim Henman Leaf had a big opportunity. Let's watch it one more time.
Just an amazing turn of events. This is a great shot here. Watch the net court now, and here's Henman. Here's the ball below the level of net now. It looks to me like he's coming this way. It looks like he could almost roll it this way. Instead plays a cross-court shot this way. Oh, man, that is a tough ball to lose on there.
Huge point, and Hewitt gets out of trouble, and now Leighton Hewitt serving to get back in this second set. Down 4-5. Longest rally of the match right there. Henman almost looked like he was catching his breath a little bit.
A look of concern on David Felgate's face. Henman was waiting for his moment. It looked like he picked the right one, but the ball just found the tape.
Just wide, very close down that center service line. A few whistles from this crowd. They thought he had the ace. Goes wide, 30 love. Hewitt. I'm Barry McKay along with Lee Cyrus, bringing you championship action from the Franklin Templeton Tennis Classic. The Fairmont Scottsdale Princess on the left, Leighton Hewitt from Australia. On the right, Tim Henman from Great Britain. Hewitt with the first set. And now Leighton Hewitt serving down 4-5, trying to get even in the second, up 30 love. Double fault. We saw him coming. Fifth double fault for Leighton Hewitt. Something about serving, Leaf. You got a guy coming in on you all the time, and you start looking over there and see him move forward. It's very tough to concentrate on that second serve.
Another forehand error from Henman. Just a little bit late in getting to that ball and setting up and hitting it. Got to stay with the hit. You can see he's up a little bit too much on that ball.
Second serve, 40-15. Game point now for the Australian to even things at 5 games all. Yes.
Barry, I think Henman has one of the best overheads in the game, and we haven't seen him miss one this weekend.
40, 30.
And some good work from Hewitt to get one more ball back into play.
Look at that.
But Henman just so good off that lob. Tremendous overhead.
Perfect shot by Henman. Right in the corner, just caught the line.
Well, he missed that shot the last time he tried it. This time he stayed on the ball a little bit longer. And you can see a little more decisive in the hit. You can't hit it any better than that, Barry. Right in the corner of the corner.
You cannot get a better shot than that. It's deuce. Rushed the backhand just slightly. Big return to Leaf off that forehand. I thought he was just where he wanted to be.
You can see Henman now really pressing, going for his shots and executing them. What I like about Henman is when he makes an error, he doesn't seem to let it bother him and lose another point because of it. Truly a professional in terms of how he prepares each and every point.
Another winner. Henman lines it up and goes for it. Well, you talk about a crucial point. Takes him to set point.
And if he has time on the backhand, he's going to hit those kinds of shots. Well, this would be huge for him after he's lost his own serve trying to secure the set.
It's good.
Cahill's thinking that maybe Hewitt got away with one there and that Henman didn't seize the opportunity in that point.
I was surprised. I thought for sure he'd take that one short ball and come in behind it.
He's been winning going for it, and then he lapses into just getting the ball back into play.
Second serve opportunity in that deuce court from Henman. We'll see if he comes in behind it. And he does. With the clenched fist.
Well, this kind of play not only secures him the point, but it doesn't allow Hewitt to get involved, It takes Hewitt out of his rhythm.
Once again, set point, Tim Henman. Henman's in, but overhits it. So a third set point disappears.
When Hewitt missed that first serve by a mile. And Henman really with a chance to put the pressure on.
This goes long. Henman talking to himself now. Goes for it, and Leighton Hewitt has come back, down 5-2. We are at 5 games off, second set. A lot of points and money at stake today here in this championship match.
Again, 35 points, and that's big. Should Hewitt win it, he could move into a fourth-place tie. And again, some good money for these guys should they come through here today. Nearly $50,000 in prize money.
We are at 5 games all, second set. Henman's got to be talking to himself at this point with that 5-2 lead, several set points. Dead even.
Again, a little careless in his footwork and his execution there. I mean, he can't afford to be giving away points at this stage of the second set, man. Henman struggling with his unforced.
Spin lob. Oh, and it's long. fires the racket down. I think he either broke a string leaf. Wow.
Yeah, he did break a string.
And that caused him to miss that last overhead.
And that overhead carried long, and I'll tell you what, he is not happy about that. Perhaps his most dependable shot.
Oh, that's a bad break. Helpless feeling when that string goes in the middle of a point. So now Henman down love 30, 5 games all. Earlier, and as Henman mentioned, he has trouble closing out matches. He has lost 3 tie breaks in finals. And here he is at love 40. Another big lead in that second set. Gone. Triple break point. All the let.
A little bit of work ahead of him, but that one will certainly help.
Oh, that's a great serve, better volley. So Henman saves 2.
The Berries had a lot of success going out to the Hewitt backhand on this backhand side. I'm wondering whether he might try and change it up, go over the low part of that and come down the middle.
He's thinking about it right now. Oh, that's exactly where he went. Thought he had the ace. Ooh, close call. Second serve. Would go long, and Henman saves another. And his crowd on its feet behind Henman. There's a couple of big British flags.
I'll tell you, this was not an easy point. This last volley was very tricky. Again, a floater in the middle of the court. He had to play it very carefully.
Henman looking up at some of his British rooters on this side. It's deuce. We are virtually yards away from the Scottsdale airport, a low-flying plane. Solid serve, 133 miles per hour, down the center. And there are some of those British fans right behind Henman now. Ace number 10. Game point, Henman. Big second serve down the center, and Henman looks back. Games to 6 now. Leighton Hewitt serving, trying to get into a tiebreak. It's good. No.
there from Henman. Teed off on the backhand and got tremendous depth.
Oh, that is a big forehand from Henman. Took a chance lead from the backcourt and a big point.
Well, he's had his most success when he's gone after his shots. Again, he sets it up with that off forehand. Brought it down the line. What do you think, Barry? Henman chipping and charging?
I wouldn't be surprised right here. Second serve. Comes in.
Well, that's a great second serve.
Hewitt with a deep second serve. Actually glanced right off the line. You could see Henman looking at it.
Yeah, it looked like he hit a slice serve there to try and keep the ball low. Boy, that was a nice play.
Just wide. Linesperson there behind Henman has moved over towards the center, looking in there. Sure is right there. Drop shot. The lob.
Again, this time the drop shot works. He keeps it down low. Hewitt has to play the one-hander, and he comes right back at him.
Holds up his hand. Sorry, Leighton. Wasn't trying to hit him. That was the only shot he could hit. It's deuce.
Except the other one to the open court.
Hewitt looks over.
This time he pumps his fist.
Only his second ace of the day, but what a time for it.
Hewitt loves the challenge. He just loves the big moments. He just gets psyched and goes for it.
Hewitt continuing to go for aces now, trying to close these points out quickly. No, that will go long. And so Leighton Hewitt holds. We are at 6 games all, and we will have a tiebreak. The executive producers of Fox Sports Net are Arthur Smith and Bill Borson. The coordinating producer is Larry Myers. This championship match produced by Harold Hecht and directed by Bruce Troy. Great crew from Fox Sports Net, I might add. Great job today, everybody. Well, we're seeing some wonderful pictures of one of the best matches we've had all year long. First point, tiebreak. Goes wide. 0-1.
David Felgate obviously concerned as Henman has got some work ahead of him. Henman has made some big errors. I mean, that is his best shot, that backhand approach, underspin. There is the UK flag, hopefully flying here.
Union Jack looking just a little limp there for a moment.
When that approach shot found the bottom of the net.
2-0. Just wide. Hewitt thought he had the ace. 100 miles per hour.
What I like about Hewitt, he doesn't really get bothered by the calls. He just says, let's play.
Right on the sideline. Hewitt screaming to himself now.
This is a pretty good approach shot. Watch this. It finds the sideline. Oh, man, that is sweet.
Just barely. Let first serve. There is the automatic net court caller, the electronic device that the umpire hears. Ooh. Second serve. Net court. Open court.
Well, Henman got a lucky break here. This ball stays in, and in fact, it goes right in the corner. Very tough to make a good play on that.
Yeah, the net court actually helped him by about 3 feet. Pushed the ball deeper. Solid serve ace number 11 out wide for Henman. And he needed it.
This one's coming right into your living room. Boy, that got out quick.
Nice return over the baseline. They will change sides after 6 points. Hewitt with the mini break up 4-2. Hewitt has the first set.
And it is hot on the court down there earlier today, and these guys are working hard. There's not much of a breeze here today.
Very little wind.
Hewitt builds on the lead he has.
Oh, it's going to go wide. Hewitt, a brilliant return off of one of Henman's best serves at 120 miles per hour. Now Leighton Hewitt championship point. 6-2 Hewitt championship point. No, it's long. And there it is. Leighton Hewitt has done it. Tremendous effort from both players. What a strong comeback from the young Australian. And so Leighton Hewitt, a standing ovation here. As Darren Cahill, his coach, looks on. Tremendous effort by the young 19-year-old from Adelaide, Australia. 6'4", 7'6". He is the 2000 champion of the Franklin Templeton Tennis Classic. Leighton Hewitt, the 19-year-old Australian, has won it in straight sets. He's with Leif Shiras. Leif.
Thank you, Barry. And Leighton Hewitt, that was a tremendous match. You won the first set pretty comfortably, down 5-2 in the second set. What was going through your mind when you were down 5-2?
Yeah, it was tough. You know, Tim's a great competitor, and I knew, you know, I was struggling in that second set. And then I got a bit lucky at the 5-3 game and broke back, and then got lucky at 5-4 as well. We played a tight game then, and I played a pretty good tiebreaker to finish it off.
Well, you certainly put it together this year, a finalist here last year. This is your 5th career title. You're 20-1 this year. Can you explain what's going through your mind after all this great success?
No, I just got lucky, I think, in a lot of matches. Got off to a good start in Adelaide and Sydney this year, and obviously my confidence was pretty high, and then won both my Davis Cup matches, had 4 weeks off, and came here and was pretty rusty in the first couple of rounds and started to play good tennis by the end of the week.
Well, what does it take to take it to the next level? You're obviously going through that now, and you're putting it together. Your game seems to be growing. What do you think you need to do to get even further?
Yeah, I probably got to, there's a few areas of my game I've got to work on. I've got to try and get a more all-court game, I think, to try and get to that next level and try and crack into the top 10.
Well, you're one of those guys now on the list of, you know, the best players not yet to win a Grand Slam, but you're still a teenager. What about doing well in a Grand Slam?
No, I've got a few years left, I hope, anyway.
Well, you've joined an elite company like Borg and Sampras, who have won 5 titles as a teenager. What does that feel to be included with a list like that?
It's unbelievable. I hope I have as good a careers as those guys do, and you know, hopefully I'll win some Grand Slams as well, like they did.
Well, you've worked well with Darren Cahill. How has he helped you?
Yeah, he's been a big bonus the last 2 years, and you know, I was working with him when I was a junior as well, going over to his place and having hits, and he's one of the main reasons why I've sort of gone up the rankings so quickly.
All right, well, Darren, I know your name, Leighton. Congratulations. We won't forget that name after winning the title. Congratulations.
Thanks, Lee. Thanks.
All right, Barry, back up to you.
For the brilliant youngster from Adelaide, Australia, Leighton Hewitt, 6'4" and 7'6". He wins the Franklin Templeton Tennis Classic here from Scottsdale. Very impressive. I'll tell you, this youngster can play some tennis, and as I mentioned earlier, he reminds me a lot of the great Ken Rosewall. He can move around that backcourt brilliantly, and he did it today, down 5-2 in that second set. He comes back to win it over one of the most experienced players in the game, Tim Henman. Now let's have a look now at our final stats here and see how these guys fared in the match. Look at these stats, and certainly 34 unforced errors there from Henman, and some very costly errors when he was up 5-2 in the second set. That is a very, very telling situation. And so Leighton Hewitt does him, and Leaf, it looked to me like he was very happy down there at the end of that match, and certainly I think he feels like he could win a Grand Slam.
Oh, I think he's knocking on the door. I think we saw today just how tough he is mentally and how he can execute a little bit from the net when he needs to. And he plays the big points so well. That was really the key today. I thought Henman struggled when he had his chances. He just couldn't win the big point.
All right, Henman up 5-2, Leaf. What would you have done at that point in the match? Because to me, it looked like we were going into a 3-setter.
Yeah, Henman was taking chances and really capitalizing when he did. I think when he lapsed back into just rallying, that's when he would gain the advantage. You know, I think he needed to take more chances to win this match.
Now let's have a look now at our Heineken star of the match point. Henman serving from the near court. Stays there. Leighton Hewitt on the far side. They exchange ground strokes here. A deep shot, and it will go long, and that was match point and championship point as Leighton Hewitt did it in straight sets. And stay tuned, we're going to be down in Atlanta for the Atlanta Tennis Challenge. Check your local listings. We'll have it for you on April 15th and 16th. A tremendous week of tennis here in the desert. There's your champion, Leighton Hewitt. And so for our entire Fox Sports Net crew, and for my partner, Leaf Shires, I'm Barry McKay saying so long, everybody.